Everyone, welcome again to Hybrid Accounts. If you haven't subscribed, you can do that for regular updates, but also don't forget to share and comment. All right. So let's take a look at a different example, another example, right? On cost of equity. Example now. The question says hybrid accounts company wants to determine its cost of equity of its security, which has a correlation coefficient of 0.7 with market returns. I just want us to take a look at an example which has a correlation coefficient, right? Okay, the standard deviation of the security returns is 6%, while that of the market returns is 4%. So standard deviation of market returns is 4%. Then the risk-free rate of return is 6%, and the return on the stock market is actually 14%. Required now. Determine actually the cost of equity. How do you obtain that? So just go to the solution here. And this is the formula. We have the information for CAPM because we usually determine the cost of equity using CAPM or DGM, capital asset pricing model or dividend growth model. But we have information for capital asset pricing model, so I would use this one. Now, plugging the values, I would say that I have the risk-free rate of return is 6%. I have the return on the market that is 14. So RM equals 14, but now we need this beta, equity beta. We don't have it, but we have further information. We are told here that the standard deviation of the security is 6%, which is 0.06, and that of the market, standard deviation of the market is 4%, which is 0.04. All right. And then we're also given the correlation coefficient, CC, I mean correlation coefficient between the security and the market equals to 0.7. Now, the problem is we do not know the equity beta because as per the formula, we just needed RF, RM and equity beta, but equity beta is nowhere to be found, and it looks like we have other information which we do not need. But not now that this information can be used actually to obtain the beta that we are seeking. So we just have not one thing. If you're not given the beta of the security with reference to the market is obtained at the covariance between the security and the market divided by the variance of the market, which if you describe more would say that the covariance of the security and market equals to standard deviation of security times standard deviation of the market times the correlation coefficient between the security and the market. Sorry, this one is IM, means between security and the market, okay? Divided by the variance. Now the variance equals to the square of standard deviation. So variance of the market would be equal to standard deviation of the market times standard deviation of the market. And if you simplify this more, the standard deviation of the market up here cancels the one down here, and you remain with this formula that beta or systematic risk equals to standard deviation of the security times correlation coefficient between security and the market over standard deviation of the market. So this is what we have to do right here. Okay, now I mean this was the correlation coefficient between, correlation coefficient is between the security and the market is between two parts. Okay, so we can just proceed now to know where is, as I said, SDI, standard deviation of the security, SDM, standard deviation of the market. Sorry, this is the SDM, standard deviation of the market, and then actually I have CC, IM, which is the correlation coefficient between security and the market. So it's CCIM, not just CCM, it's CCIM. And then I can just come and get my formula here. So to obtain equity beta, I take standard deviation of the market, right? And then you actually divide by the standard deviation of the market. So here I have standard deviation of the security. I was given here, which is 0.06 times standard deviation of the times correlation coefficient between security and the market, which was 0.7, divided by standard deviation of the market, which is 0.04. If you do that, I would end up having the equity beta of 1.05. So now I have all information that I need to obtain the cost of equity, and so I will just plug in my values there. So cost of equity would be equal to RF, which is 6%, plus equity beta, which is 1.05, times the bracket, the excess or return on market, over the return, the risk-free rate, which is 14% minus 6%. And this would actually give me the cost of equity of this figure, because 14 minus 6 equals to 8. 8 times 1.05 equals to 8.4 plus 6, 14.4%. So this would be my cost of equity. So actually everything is complete here, but I would just like to give you much more details. You know, this example is just like a bonus because I think you have already seen the best examples, right? I'm just completing here. To know the covariance between the security here and the market, security and the market, you just do this one. You just go for the normal formulas of covariance. Covariance is usually obtained as saying that the summation of return of the security minus mean of the security times return of the market minus mean of the what of the market. This is how you obtain it. But then since you do not have you can actually divide it by n, or if you have probability you can multiply by probability. And if you need to obtain the variance now, the variance of the market is just the same. Variance of the market, we usually say that the variance equal to the summation of, you just take the return on the market minus the mean return on the market, and you have to square these figures. So you just say squared here and everything is fine. So in case you're given that, you do that. But normally in ACCA, you won't find these matters, right? I'm just writing, but maybe in case, but in ACCA, most of times, you do not have to compute these equity beta this way. You just be given asset beta or equity beta, and you would actually be required to compute otherwise. All right? So, oh, someone is asking that the voice is slow. Oh, maybe your internet connection, but for others, they just find it just perfect. Okay, no problem. I'll just done this one. So, if you haven't subscribed, I advise you to do that so that you can get regular updates. Thank you very much, and until next time.